And there you go. Look at that. So awesome. Hello and welcome to In the Kitchen with Matt. I am your host, Matt Taylor. Today I'm going to show you how to make a peach galette. If you are not familiar with a galette, it's a French pastry. Usually it's sweet or savory, and it's pretty much like an open-faced pie or just open-faced pastry. And I'm going to show you how to make a peach version. Galettes are super easy to make, super tasty. If I can do it, you can do it. Let's get started. Down below in the description box, you'll find a list of the ingredients and their amounts. Begin by making your pastry dough, like a pie dough. Now, I am feeling lazy on this hot summer day, so I just have a pre-made pie crust here that I am going to use, but I'll show you how to make your own really yummy homemade pie crust right now. Add 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour, 5 tablespoons of very cold butter, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of cold shortening or lard to a food processor. Take 1/4 cup of cold water and add 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar to it, and pour about half of it into the food processor. You may not need all of the water. Pulse the food processor until the dough forms. The dough should be slightly sticky and come together when pressed. Pour dough onto a floured surface and bring it all together and shape it into a fat disc. Cover with plastic wrap and chill in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. Now, let's do the filling. Super easy. I just have a bowl here, and I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of white granulated sugar, and then just a little pinch of salt. This is like 1/8 of a teaspoon or so of salt. 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. You could use arrowroot starch, or you could use like tapioca starch. You can also just use all-purpose flour. And then about 1/2 teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. You could also add something like nutmeg if you want. And now with this little fork here, I'm just going to give this a nice little mix. Great. Set that aside. And now, peaches. Since this is a peach galette, I'm going to use peaches. And you could use pretty much any kind of fruit that you want to do this. And what we want to do is I rinse the outside of these because I'm not going to peel them. I do want to keep the peel on. I don't normally peel my peaches, but you could peel them if you want. I'm going to just take my knife here and go around the pit. Watch your fingers, of course. And then we'll just take it open. And these peaches aren't like extremely super soft and ripe. They're probably middle. They have a little bit of give to them, slightly soft. And that's kind of what you want. You don't want them super soft. And then I'm going to slice these fairly thin and then put the slices in a large bowl. All right, so I have 3 largest peaches sliced into these thin slices. And now I want to take my little cinnamon sugar mixer, and I'm just going to put some on the top here. Give it a little toss. Get the rest of it on there. And then you can just stir or toss it. And if you have a lid for your bowl, it makes it really easy just to do that. You can also just throw everything in like a Ziploc bag and shake it that way. And then I also have some vanilla extract. This is like 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, just for a little bit of extra flavor here. And that's optional. And then you can shake it again or just come in here and give it a nice little stir. Also, preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 205 Celsius. And then you just let your peaches let them sit aside for 5 minutes or so while your oven preheats. I'm going to take a sheet pan and line it with parchment paper, or you could use a silicone baking mat. And I want to roll out this pie dough. Again, use store-bought or homemade, up to you, depending on how lazy you are. Today, I'm really lazy, so I'm just using this Pillsbury dough. And if you have the homemade crust, then just roll it out until it's about 12 inches in diameter. And now, using clean hands or wearing gloves, we want to take our peaches and come in about 2.5 inches or so. And we want to overlap these and create like a kind of a circle. Totally up to you how you do this, but very classic look is just make a little design, like almost like a flower spiral here in the center. And if you don't care about the design, then just pile all those peaches right in the middle. So something like that, you make it look kind of like a flower in the middle, and it looks really neat. All right, so this is beautiful. And now I want to take this and just fold it over like this. And fold it over like that, and just kind of pinch down the edges here. And this is going to give that classic galette look, which is kind of like an octagon shape. Beautiful little galette right here. Awesome, super excited. And now, I want to make a little egg wash. So I'm just going to take an egg, put that in there, and you could use a little bit of water, a little bit of milk with that egg if you want. And then I'm going to base this pastry on the side here with this egg wash. Nice. And then I have just a little mix of cinnamon and sugar. It's like 1/2 cup of sugar to 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. So like a teaspoon per 1/4 cup of sugar. This is totally optional. And then I just want to go on the edges here with this. And then another thing you can do if you want is you can put a couple dollops of butter right there in the middle. But there you go, fantastic looking little galette ready to be baked. Again, in the oven, 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 205 Celsius. And we'll bake it somewhere between 20 and 25, 28 minutes until the crust is nice and golden brown and the peaches should be soft. On to that step. And when they come out of the oven, they will look something like this, nice and golden brown on the edges. If you use 3 large peaches, you should be able to make 2 medium-sized galettes or 1 large one. Just depends on how many peaches you use. So I made 2 medium ones. Turned out fantastic. I'm excited to dive into these. Just let them cool on the pan for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then you can serve them warm. You can serve them with a little scoop of ice cream, however you want to eat them. All right. And then you can use a knife or like a pizza roller to cut into these. And there you go. Look at that. So awesome. I'm gonna give it a taste. I'm Matt Taylor. This has been another episode of In the Kitchen with Matt. Thank you for joining me. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or requests, put them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thumbs up, down in the corner, press it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Take care. Time for me to dive into this some more. Oh yeah. So delicious.